behind me, you see the aquarium that you have probably already seen if you watched my previous videos, guys. But this time, something has changed significantly, and it's related to the fact that it was a major overgrowth here, so intense and so scary, so intimidating, that I had to address this issue as soon as possible. The thing is, I had an Echinodorus plant, and I do not even know exactly the type. Uh, I think I heard or I read somewhere, but I forgot, and it's spread all over. And I could possibly overlay you some of the previous photographs or maybe a video of how it was. And in recent uh, weeks, it got a little bit out of control. It started to take over all the surface and the back. And removing it was another problem. It was just crazy. You cannot even imagine how much effort I made because these are rooted plants. And when the roots take over and when there are multiple shoots of new plants as big as the mother plant and they all spread through the substrate, this is another kind of talk. You just have to pull everything out, and that's what happened. And this wasn't the best picture. It really looked ugly. So let's get down into it right now because I managed to remove all of it and kind of rescape or scape again this aquarium, changing a little bit in the process the position of the hardscape, obviously. Not that dramatic, but still. And yeah, let's just take a look at it, right? This is the aquarium. This is the aquarium, and right now it has only one Echinodorus somewhere at the back. I do not even see it. Maybe we could. Yes. No. These are just hygrophila, right? Well, you see, it's not visible here anymore. Sorry for the filter, it just fell because somehow the suction cups do not hold it anymore. Maybe because there is more material, more like malm, and that's why the weight is more than before. Well, anyway, as you can see, compared to what it was, it's more of an islandscape right now. Fish are going crazy because I've just fed them. Yeah, this was all covered by Echinodorus from here to there. And yeah, it was too much. It was too much just because the plants were too big for this aquarium. When it was just like one plant or maybe two, this was fine. But as I've said, getting out of control is not the best option, especially with rooted plants. Because, you know, these stem plants that you can see here, like this Myriophyllum, right? Or maybe this Monticala, or that Hygrophila in front. These are manageable because you can pull them out. They are easier to pull out. You can trim them, and that's it. But rooted plants like cryptocorynes and such, especially big ones, yeah, you will struggle a bit, I guess. Anyway, so this Anubias that you can see here, actually, this is one big plant, and it required a few years to grow like that. Initially, this was just like one, yeah, and there are some babies, and I don't know, I don't even remember where they came from. Did I like buy them separately? I guess I bought some, and then they grew again. Well, and I do the offspring of that in other aquariums as well. That's the advantage of Anubias, because it grows in many different conditions. It's relatively hardy, prone to algae though, but it still grows. However, I want to show you something. You see, those leaves are not supposed to be like that. They are supposed to be like this. Or, let me give you a more proper example. Like this. They should be dark green. And these ones, first of all, they are new. And next, they can suffer from some nutrient deficiency. So I have to, I think, increase the dosage of the fertilizers. Speaking of the fish, we have multiple fish here right now. And I made one mistake again. I bought some guppies, but there were some females as well. And that's what happened. You see new guppies, and these new guppies also already gave birth to some babies already. They are like 3 months old. I've just seen one smallest baby. Oh yeah, here you can see Yeah, this is the third generation already. And this is not what you want in aquarium, just because, yeah, these fish are small, they do not produce a lot of waste, but there will be a moment when there will be too much and you have to tackle this. I will remove most of them, leave only the most beautiful, and I will give them away to my friend who also has an aquarium. Maybe I will donate some to my pet store, because the owner is also a fish keeper. So, well, the aquarium struggled a little bit from the dust, which was, of course, kicked up in the water, if you will, after all this echinodorsus being removed. But it settled quite quickly in 2 days. And the composition of stones is different. It's not fancy, it's not complicated at all. I think it was more complicated before, just this kind of islandy stuff. And two, driftwood. And this driftwood is positioned a little bit differently. Right now, it's more vertical than it used to be, because it used to be like in a different angle, and it was taking this part of the aquarium, the bottom part, more. Yeah, I'm waiting for the plants to grow, and when they grow, it will become even bushier. Right now, it's a little bit bare for my liking, but you know, considering the fact that most of the stem plants in this aquarium grow rather quickly, I hope that they will, become a little bit more attractive than right now. But there is more swim room, and that's what I actually wanted in the first place, the swim room, right? So yeah, let's move to other aquariums. Yeah, this is something that you will be very surprised about, because I've always told you that I try not to remove the plants from this, and I tried not to remove the plants, saying that they are the part of the ecosystem, and they are, but it was the time when everything went completely awry. And I mean, there was so many plants that I stopped seeing the light coming in this aquarium. And yeah, I had to remove all this Sagittaria from here, as you can see, but I left all the Sagittaria and all the guppy grass and other plants like Myriophyllum you see here, and some Ludwigia as well. They are all at the back. And this creates a cavey, a little bit moody atmosphere. Plus, I placed 2 male guppies in here that were the second generation babies. There are some shrimp, and somehow red shrimp appear. I saw 2 right now, which is surprising, because there was a moment when only colorless shrimp started to appear, and there's no surprise, because there was a mix like black and blue, and of course, if you mix them, they breed, and you get this transparent shrimp. I don't care, actually. I like all of them, and seeing red shrimp was something pleasantly surprising. And I've changed the filter, because that one, the previous one, wasn't enough. I think that there was a little bit of a problem here. And I think that the problem here was that no matter how well your ecosystem works, it sometimes may experience certain issues. And this was like, how many? This was a 2 or 3 year old ecosystem aquarium, I guess, maybe 2, right? And yes, in this time frame, certain things may, of course, break out. And I think something happened because, maybe too many nutrients in the substrate or whatever. So I cleaned all that up, and I changed the filter. I added old filter media, and I placed even more, and it runs most of the time. So in a day, I guess it should help with nutrient consumption. Just like the filters are supposed to do, yeah? And speaking of antlers, there is only one antler left right now, and he's, aggressively sometimes, looking after this male guppy, not even suspecting that this is the male guppy, right? Others, no, unfortunately, I only have one now. I guess that's the age case, because they have been like around for 2 or I think for 2 years, maybe 3, maybe 2.5, right? I'm not sure. Well, yeah, but I do like this look more than before. I guess it's moodier and it has some cohesion rather than just having all the plants in chaotic way. So, yep. Well, let's talk about this aquarium now. And this has been a very good run. Sorry, I have some chronic cough after, all these infections in the winter time, yeah. And it's still winter, but right now in our region it's getting really warm and too maybe warm for February. However, anyway, well, this has been a very good run because I have always algae here on this driftwood, but it doesn't bother anything else. And this algae is actually soft. It looks like cotton, basically. I mean, like, it feels like cotton. And that's why I don't bother by it. And you know what I did? I recently added some guppy grass in here, and it's been a blast. The algae started to disappear, and right now there is much less than before from anubiases as well, and they are growing all over, as you can see. Plus, cryptocorynes also grow. I wonder what is happening with them. Sometimes 1 or 2 leaves from one cryptocoryne may get really yellow and fall. I have no idea why it happens because they do not feel like they suffer from nutrient deficiency or whatever else. So yeah, I'm not sure about it, but it's not a massive meltdown, for which I'm very, very happy, because initially, if you remember, there was a video a few years ago when there was some tiger barbs here, and there was just only 1 or 2 cryptocorynes here, and that's what happened in these years. They just grew all over the place, and it really speaks for itself. I mean, there is not so much algae around on the glass or whatever. The water is mostly pristine, especially after I also added the guppy grass, because it could get a little bit murky and dusty. But with that, I don't know why it's better. Let's get a little bit closer. I have this fish, and I think that something is wrong with I don't know. You see how it swims, though. It has been like that for quite some time, and he eats a lot and he is active, but I need to address it anyway. So maybe I will add some remedy separately in a separate quarantine tank or whatever. Other fish are, I think, doing fine. They are funny, they are running all over the place, and they are getting some weight, obviously. And this is something that always makes me happy, because it's better when your fish have some weight. They are not obese, but they still do have some, instead of being thin and constipated. There is another issue though, and it's only in this aquarium: duckweed. Yeah, if you take a look at the surface, everything is duckweedy, and I try to remove it every time when I do maintenance, and it still grows. And it's only in this aquarium now. Other aquariums, somehow it retreated almost completely. So yeah. And I will soon be doing some maintenance here, because I haven't done it yet in this tank. Yeah, I will try to tackle this, and also I will replant the guppy grass. I will cut it, and I will add another bush from those cuttings at the back. Yeah. Well, let's move to betta fishes. Well, talking about betta fish, I have finally ordered protective glass here, because these were just plastic lids here. This wasn't even from this set of these aquariums, because the aquariums, they didn't have a lid initially. And yeah, this looks much more classy, I guess, if you will. I cannot call this super classy, but still. Well, these are the 2 aquariums with my betta fish, and yeah. I do not care much about the scape here, because it's more about the quality of water, and this guppy grass again helps a lot. The water stays really, really nice. And this guy is interesting. He is completely neutral to shrimp. And if you look closely, there are so many. I've added like 10, and I suspect that he would chase them, hunt them, kill them, eat them. But he is not doing anything. He may look at them and then swim back, and that's why they do whatever they want. They eat, and they really help with excess food if some food falls on the floor, because this guy is a little bit slow in terms of catching the food. Yeah, there is a little bit of this hair algae, just the same cotton type, but it stays here just like a merino moss ball or whatever. There was some cladophora like algae here in the middle where you can see the Anubias, but I somehow managed to remove most of it because it was relatively soft. And here beside we have another betta, and he had a long story. Well, long story short, he had, I think, a bacterial infection or fungus on his scales, and I actually treated him with certain remedies, certain medicine, by basically bathing him 2 or 3 times. I think 2 times only, because I was afraid to do it. And he recovered. His fins grew back because he lost almost all of them. He used to be blue and yellow, but now he lost all the color, as you can see. And though he is very active, very energetic, a little bit crazy, swims all over the place, is interested in everything, and he eats a lot. And he sometimes jumps, so that's why having a lid is essential. All the bettas jump, but he's a little bit crazy about it, even for a betta fish, I guess. Guppy grass here grows in a strange way, different from the previous aquarium that I showed you guys. It grows like a palm tree or whatever. From one point, you have multiple shoots of really bright green color, brighter than in the next tank, and all those long roots to the bottom. So I don't know how it happens, but I really like the look. And when I was doing maintenance, I tried not to remove all those things, much of it, only just the space here for feeding. And here I removed more in the middle because my betta doesn't like when he struggles to get through when the food is coming. So, yeah. Yes, guys, and you probably may see this guitar on the tank. Yes, it's a little bit off topic, but I had this souvenir, if you will, and I didn't know where to place it in a good place so that I could kind of see it and whatever. And I decided to put it on the tank. It's plastic. It's kind of cute. So yeah, some fake, plants, I guess. Yeah, just like for decoration. They have been around for, I think, a few months too. So yeah, guys, and that's it for today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. There will be more updates, hopefully, to come. Next time, we will be talking about guppies, I guess, because I will be rehoming and giving away some of the offspring I have. So I guess this will be the second vlog, if you will. Anyway, thank you so much. If you tuned in this video and watched to the end, it's really, really highly appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I will also really, really appreciate that as well. See you guys. Take care. And that's Mr. Po. Until next time then, take care.